Oh my gosh, you guys, I started looking into service dogs, especially the ones for us with epilepsy/seizures. And there's so much information. Now, usually I try to keep these videos under like 10 minutes, but these good boys and girls work so hard. I need to give them as much of their story as I can. And you better stick around for the whole video because look at this sweet face. How can you not listen to all the hard work they put in? Okay, so here we go. Okay, so first off, there obviously is a big difference between support dogs, therapy dogs, service dogs, all that kind of stuff, guide dogs. I'm just gonna focus on service dogs for seizures, not guide dogs for blindness, all that kind of stuff. Some people have dogs at home that have discovered naturally can detect when a seizure is going to happen and let them know, or can take care of them when a seizure is going to happen, like lay next to them, all this kind of stuff. So those animals/pets are great in your home. So the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, will protect your certified service dog in any and all public places. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen a service dog out in public, like in restaurants or an airplane, but they do as much as possible to stay out of the way. Like they will go under their partner's feet, under the chair. In an airplane, they go under the seat beneath their partner's legs, to just stay as still as possible and be as unseen as possible. If you notice a service dog that's kind of running around, sitting in their partner's lap, just chilling, licking people, letting themselves be pet, that kind of stuff, that might be a little suspect. It might be like, hey, wait a minute, that dog hasn't been trained right. Now, as for what kind of dogs they look for to train to be a service dog, the most common breeds are Labrador Retrievers, Collies, and Golden Retrievers. Those apparently are usually the easiest, most common. Now, they can find shelter dogs, mixed breeds, that kind of stuff, but the most commons are that. Now, some dogs need to grab medications, turn things on and off. So usually things like wet mouth dogs, lots of drooly dogs that drool a lot, kind of nixed out immediately because, that makes sense. That wouldn't really work. So, and the tiny small dogs, they're limited in what they can do, especially if they have to pull a wheelchair or push a wheelchair in some instances. Size does matter in this instance. So the breed and size and all that kind of stuff makes a difference. All right, one big takeaway I found in all these training websites, all this kind of stuff about these dogs, is that there is a big difference between a seizure predicting dog and a seizure response dog. Now, a seizure predicting dog cannot be trained, apparently. That's either a skill they are born with or not. So apparently if there's a corporation or a training facility that claims they can train your dog to predict your seizure, that might be a scam. Now, they can let you know that they have discovered that one of their dogs has the ability to predict a seizure, which is a great win. But that will also let you know that there will be a longer wait list for that dog and it will probably cost more, which makes sense because they're harder to find, they're probably rarer. But the way that those dogs can predict is their sense of smell. And they can apparently predict a seizure is going to happen up to 45 minutes before a seizure happens. Apparently, we put off some kind of smell. An electrical charge happens in our brain, a change that sets off a different smell, pheromone, aroma. I didn't do a ton of research into it. I just saw that we put off a different smell, and dogs' noses are amazing, so much more than ours, clearly. But yeah, they can smell when a seizure is going to happen. So they can let you know. They have certain ways to alert you a seizure is going to happen. They may have different ways of letting you know. But yeah, so you get lucky if you have one. And sometimes, you know, you can just get a dog out of the pound that you hit the jackpot and it automatically is a seizure predicting dog on its own and just lets you know. So be glad if you're lucky enough to get one of those on your own. But yeah, apparently that is a naturally occurring ability that you can't teach. However, that's the main difference. So going forward is all the things that can be taught. Now, these dogs can be trained to alert caregivers when a seizure is occurring. Like people that, you know, are around, take care. They can bark, push an alarm if one has been set up to say, hey, my partner is about to have a seizure, or is not about to, is having a seizure, come help. They can be trained to lie next to, like if it says lie next to so they don't hurt themselves, maybe if they don't thrash or roll around too much, or if they see a person is about to fall or starting to fall, they can put themselves in between the floor and the person to break their fall, which is another reason why the size of the dog matters. You can't have a little Chihuahua be a seizure dog because, they get smushed. So, again, you know, that's a big part of matching up the dog with the seizure person. Finding the right fit is a big part of getting your seizure dog. Another thing I found very interesting is they don't call them their owner. It is your partner. So they say the dog and their partner, which makes a lot of sense because you are working together. You are taking care of each other. You're making sure they're fed, they have a place to sleep. They're making sure they're taking care of you as their seizure patient. So it is never called owner, it's called partner. So I think that's really great. So here's kind of what they look for in the dog training facility. I went through and found through epilepsy.com kind of an interview they did with the Service Dog Training Corporation facility, something like that. I'll link it down below. And had a lot of interesting facts. So here we go. So from 0 to 8 weeks, they are looking at their health, making sure they are healthy, that their joints are good, that they have a good appetite, all that kind of stuff. Make sure there's not going to be any problems down the road with them being healthy and thriving. So from 8 weeks to 6 months is when they start to learn socialization skills, house training, and obedience training. And this is where it gets interesting. You know, sometimes they'll go to volunteer homes, but a lot of times they get entered into the prison puppy training program, which is where inmates that are in non-violent offenders on minor charges or whatever, that are on good behavior, get to have puppies live with them in their cells or with them 24 hours a day. And they're actually not in their cells most of the time. They are out with their puppy, with their dog, training them day in, day out, bonding with them. And the inmates have been trained on how to train these dogs to get them ready for the next steps. So I think it's a great way to, you know, it benefits both of them, because when the inmates get out, they have a new skill they've learned that they could possibly use if they want to become dog trainers or work in a vet clinic, all that kind of stuff. So from 6 months to 11 months, they are still with the prison puppy training program, still with their inmates, but learning more advanced obedience skills. And then from 11 months to 14 months, they are then returned to volunteer community homes. They're taken out of the prison puppy training because now they need to get back out into the community, go on neighborhood walks, get used to being around the public, maybe grocery stores, that kind of stuff, until they're ready for the more formal training. So after that, they begin their second year of training. That's right, this takes at least 2 years of training for them to be ready to be a service dog. So that's why this is not just something where you can grab a dog, it's just gonna take, you know, a couple months to train them up. They'll be ready to take care of my seizures and be my dog. Oh, no. They have to be trained up for 2 years. That's why there's a waiting list. They are well worth the money and the wait because they will absolutely, possibly be your lifesaver, your best friend, your bond, your partner. So yeah, here's what happens in the second year. So this is when they learn action skills like retrieve, push buttons, open doors, turn lights on or off, pay a cashier, push a wheelchair, and work on alert and responding capabilities. Now, during all of this time, they are wearing a harness just so they can get used to when the harness is on, this is work time. This is when I need to be ready at all times to listen and take care of my partner, all that kind of stuff. So again, when their harness is on, they are at work. So you may think, these poor dogs, all they do is work and train. Absolutely not. They get playtime. They make tons of time for playtime. They take the harness off. They play catch, whatever, take them all out. But they have found that even when the harness is off, even when it's playtime, they still go into helper mode, even when they're not asked to. Just, it's in their nature at that point. They just want to help. They appreciate it. They like the the rewards they get, the appreciation they get. As dogs do anyway. They love feeling love. They get the tail wags. They love the pats on the head. So again, dogs are great. We love dogs. So yeah, they definitely get playtime along with work, and they love the rewards they get from the work. They love feeling they've done a good job. Now, applying for one of these amazing service dogs, if you think you need/want one. All right, so you have to be at least 12 years old and have a 6th grade level of communication, education, ability to communicate. And you need to have peer/financial support. Be able to support the dog financially, be able to feed it, give it a home, take care of any vet bills that may come up, that kind of stuff. Not just have it be you and the dog living alone. Have somebody else be around in case something else comes up. Like them be able to alert somebody else that you have an issue. Like I said before, there is a waiting list because, you know, these dogs are trained for a long time, and they have to find the right kind of dog. So, you know, there is a waiting list. Once you come up, they have to match you with the right kind of dog. So you'll come up, be interviewed, and your personalities have to match. You have to be able to bond with them. You know, dogs have personalities just like people do, and your needs have to be able to be met. Like maybe a dog has been trained in everything else that's wonderful, but they struggle with pushing a wheelchair. And you have a wheelchair. That's probably not the best dog for you. So they kind of have to figure that kind of stuff out and match you up with the best dog. So that may put you lower on the waiting list. Just got to figure it out. All right, so let's say you're matched up. You found your dog. Good to go. Then you have to do a 2.5-week in-person training session with your dog at the facility, compound, wherever they train, and you stay with that dog for 24 hours. 24 hours a day. Again, that's your initial bonding session. You learn each other's command. You learn how to give the dog commands. They learn how you are when you have a seizure, if you have one. Kind of learn your voice, learn what your routine is. You learn each other. You learn to get compatible, that kind of stuff. And they can observe if you are a good match. Now, they might find, oh no, we really messed up. We need to find a different dog. That usually, by that point, they've already matched you pretty well. But, you know, it's a good chance for them to see. So after the 2.5 weeks, they send you on your way. And then still for the next year, they keep continuing the training with you guys. They'll check in, that kind of stuff, and help support you as much as they can. And then do, you know, yearly check-ins after that. And you can call and say, hey, I have this new symptom that's developed. How can I train them to help me with this? So, you know, it's a great little program where they'll keep supporting you and keep supporting the dog because y'all are partners. It's so sweet. And then the big question, cost. Now, most times, 90% of the time, it is not covered by insurance. Now, sometimes you can find a nonprofit or something that will help you out, cover it. You can get GoFundMe's, people to help you, I don't know. But if you really want a dog, you'll usually have to pay for it yourself. Prices can range. The range I was able to find is it can be anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000. Again, I'm guessing the $50,000 is gonna include a seizure prediction dog, where they can tell you when it's gonna come and take care of it after it has come. But and that's pretty penny. You're gonna want and you're gonna get absolutely your money's worth with this kind of dog for 2 years of training, and it's been matched to you personally, and it can take care of any situation. It's protected by the laws to go with you anywhere. So I think it is absolutely a wonderful investment and a lifelong friend and partner. So, gosh, give it up for these service dogs. It's amazing that we have this option, that our government has acknowledged all that they can do for us. And yeah, so thanks if you've made it all the way through this video. Thanks for sticking around and checking this out. And let me know down below, do you have a service dog? Post a picture, I'd love to see. Down below in these comments. I want to see these sweet little boys and girls that have worked so hard. And like, comment, subscribe. I can't wait to hear your stories of your little puppies. Thanks guys, bye.